Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Abbott Elementary Season 5, the two-part finale, and future Season 6, and maybe Season 7 predictions later on. And so, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I don't normally do this type of stuff. I just saw the Season 5 finale and I was like, I need to talk about it. And that's why I'm in my car with my phone with terrible audio, terrible lighting. I'm in LA and so parking is terrible. And so if you hear cars driving, I apologize. If this is something you guys want more of, we will definitely not do it in the car. Unless that's the vibe we're going for. Never mind. Regardless, we're going to be talking about Season 5 of Abbott Elementary. And so full spoilers ahead for that. I'm a Marvel guy. I'm a superhero guy. And so I come from a background where I watch a trailer and then immediately new rock stars or whoever I watch, Brain Flicks, Brain Pile, whoever, they all post theory breakdowns, season prediction, theories, you know, trailer breakdowns, whatever. And I watched Abbott Elementary and I was like, why don't we have that? You know, and we only have Reddit threads and Twitter comments. I'm not saying those are bad. I'm just saying I'm a video guy, so I need a little bit more in my life. And so, yeah, if this is something we want more of, like future seasons, I will definitely break down at each episode as they go along. And even past episodes and past seasons, we could definitely break that down together. And so, welcome to the Season 5 finale discussion. This is just going to be a discussion, just my general thoughts from the finale, and my one main qualm with the finale. It won't be a scene-by-scene breakdown. If we want that, I will post a future video. But for now, let's get into the discussion. Full spoilers ahead for all 5 seasons of Abbott Elementary. And so, episode 5, 21, first part of the finale, is titled Ava and Fest, and we have 3-ish plot lines going on. We have Ava and Jacob trying to get Gregory and Janine back together after their breakup. Where we have Jacob and Melissa trying to stop Courtney and a few other kids from doing bad, shoplifting, forging hall passes, that type of stuff. And then we have Dom, who's trying to help Ava with Ava Fest and ends up failing miserably. I like this episode. As a standalone episode, I thought this was really good. But as a finale first part episode, I didn't really like it. It didn't have that finale energy. It had like a welcome to one of the days in the life, like hijinks, you know? It didn't feel like a finale, and I hope you guys understand what I mean by when I say that, and we'll definitely talk about that more as we talk about episode 22, but I just wish it had added that extra oomph of a finale in this episode. The episode was really great. It was really funny. It was very entertaining, and obviously that's what we're going for, but it was a finale, so I was expecting a little bit more than just your normal average episode of Abbott Elementary. It was really funny. I liked how Barbara and Mr. Johnson got it done within the next scene when it took Ava and Jacob hours, probably. I really liked how Melissa and Jacob were trying to trick Courtney and they took her bag and then Courtney ended up taking their bag and they didn't even know that. I laughed out loud during that part, and I thought that was about funny. And I really liked how Barbara shot the football at Jacob for the dunk tank with the help of that football player guy. Oh my god, I don't remember his name. Shavante James or something like that. I don't remember. I'm not a sports guy. I'm sorry. But as a standalone episode, I thought it was really good. But as a finale episode, part 1, I didn't think it had added that flavor necessary for a finale. And so let's talk about episode 22, which is the finale, Miami, titled Miami. And in this episode, everyone gets to go to Miami except for Mr. Johnson. I apologize, Mr. Johnson. I was a janitor my first job, and I understand the struggles. Everyone gets to go to Miami on a school district conference, even though they're poor, which is really funny. And I love the cameos, but I don't remember their names. I didn't love it enough where I can't even remember the actors' names. The one girl from The Office and the dean from Community. I thought it was hilarious. Not hilarious enough, but you get my point. But as a finale, this was the finale episode, and it had that finale energy where, oh my god, Abbott Elementary is gonna shut down. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Gregory's freaking out. Oh my god, we don't know what we're gonna do with our lives after Abbott shuts down. And I just felt like, I just wish these 2 episodes set up where the characters are a little bit more than that, you know? It just felt like in my, like, I'm not a showrunner. I'm not judging, obviously. I just have the power of imagination in my head. I don't have deadlines and stuff like that. All praise to Quinta Brunson and all the Abbott Elementary cast and crew. They are doing amazing, you know? I am living in this perfect world where every episode is a 10 out of 10. So in my perfect world, right, it just felt like the show writers were rushing Gregory and Janine to get back together in the Ava Fest episode so that it wouldn't be awkward in the Miami episode. And I just didn't think it worked in favor of the show. What I would have done in my perfect world of imagination, no deadlines, I get to do whatever I want because I'm an amazing writer. I'm not. I've never worked in film or TV. But if what I would have done is made the Miami a 2-part episode, where the first episode is we realize that Abbott is shutting down, and we're trying to get Gregory and Janine back together. And so in this episode, we would talk a lot about, Abbott is shutting down. What are we going to do? Life is going to suck. And Gregory and Janine, with the help of Barbara and Mr. Johnson, can fly to Miami somehow. Maybe he has to clean up trash or something. We can find out that, hey, there's more to life, there's more to relationships than these petty squabbles about whether we're driving or flying to a place. There's more to life than these small little arguments. Yes, you are going to have these small little arguments. Yes, it's going to get tough. But there's more to life than that, and you have to realize that life is bigger than all of these small little arguments. And then in the second episode, all the gang would come back together and find out how to save Abbott, and then realize they don't need to save Abbott. But I just wish it felt smoother going into the finale. It just felt like, day in the life, random hijink, and then bam, finale episode. And then I don't like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going crazy. You guys can let me know. And my main qualm comes with Gregory. As a character for Gregory, we've known since episode 1 of season 1, we've known that Gregory wants to be principal. That everyone knows that, if you've been watching the show. But throughout the show, as Gregory as a character has evolved, he's realized that even though he wants to be principal, being a teacher is kind of nice. Having these small stuff in life is kind of nice, And so there was no mention of him being a principal at all the past few episodes. We've been dealing with our breakup. We've been dealing with other stuff. And so when he started all of a sudden being like, I'm going to be assistant principal, that came out of nowhere to me. And I was just a little bit frustrated by that. And that just shows the qualms and problems I have with this finale, is that the show, I feel like the showrunners clearly see an ending for the show. And I will talk about a little bit more about that later with the season 6 and possibly 7 predictions. But there's clearly an ending point that the showrunners see, and they're trying to set that up. But I just wish in this finale and with episode 21 that it was set up a little bit better so that we can see the pieces falling into place. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments. And so we'll get into our season 6, season 7 predictions because, and the reason I say season 7 possibly, we'll get into that. Season 6, I hope Abbott Elementary gets renewed for season 6. I was researching a little bit earlier, and it was talking about how Quinta Brunson, the showrunner and the person who plays Janine, was talking about how, yes, they would love to do this. They would love to do this for the next 50 years of their life. But obviously, it takes a lot of time. Apparently, it takes like 6 or 7 months to film a whole season. And so it's a big time commitment. And if they could, they would. But obviously, it's hard. And so I feel like this show is setting up the pieces for the show's end. At least with the current cast, with Melissa, Jacob, Gregory, Janine, Ava. I feel like their story is coming to an end within the next few years. My guess is next year, based on my logic in my perfect world head, but I could be wrong. Who knows? I hope they go. I love this show. I don't want it to end, but all good things must come to an end. And so let's talk about my season 6 predictions. And so with this finale, what we've seen is Barbara is getting ready to retire. She has thoughts of retiring. I don't see them dragging that out any longer than 1 season. If they drag that out longer than 1 season, I feel like it'll get boring very quickly. It'll get kind of toned down, and the emotional depth won't be there when she finally does retire. So I feel like by the end of season 6, Barbara will retire. And so with that, we have to think about, all right, where are the other characters at? And the number one characters that I see ending the show is Gregory and Janine. Right? They're the main couple. They're the main duo of the show that we're rooting for. And so obviously in a perfect sitcom reality, right? This show ends with Gregory and Janine married, probably, with kids, probably, right? We're not. I don't think we're gonna see them like gray and old. This is not that type of show. I feel like we either see the show ending, like the magical final ending, either be their wedding, and they have like a future later on, or it'll be like them with their kids. They know how to be parents and stuff like that. Excuse me. And so that's why I think a season 7 is possible. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying it's possible. Because imagine a season 6 will end with their wedding, them being married, and then season 7 will end with them having kids, and then, go living their like domestic life. But we have to think about timeline, right? 2 years from now, 2 years in their life, they have to get engaged, they have to get married, they have to have a house, they have to have kids. Is that accomplishable within 2 years? Possibly, but I don't see the showrunners doing that. That would feel a little bit rushed. Every episode would have to be, they have to buy a house, they have to figure out, she has to give birth, whatever, or adopt. Adoption is an option too as well. I just don't feel like they would do that within 2 years. And so that's where my season 7 idea comes in, but I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's likely. I think they will end by season 6, right? By end of season 6, what we will see is Barbara is retired. Gregory is either principal, because he's going to be assistant principal this upcoming season. He's going to be assistant principal, but he's going to be either main principal or some higher, better position that they tease throughout the season. Who knows? Gregory and Janine have to be married, at the very least engaged, but for sure married, Yeah, there's no way they end the show without them getting married. And then everyone else is up in the air. Melissa, Jacob, and Ava and Mr. Johnson are like all up in the air. And I feel like season 6 is going to tackle that. And this is where I wish we had 20 more seasons with them. But this is, in my head, it all makes sense that by season 6, we will see Barbara retired, Gregory and Janine married, and Gregory becoming principal, not president. Ava might be president. That might be a really cool, funny idea. But by end of season 6, I think this show is coming to an end. I really don't want it to end. But this is just the trajectory that I'm seeing with the finale. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts with the season 5 finale and future season predictions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you guys want more of these. I will gladly do more of these with better production. Obviously not in the car with these terrible mic. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, have a great day.